Greetings everyone, welcome to my adventures as a broke dark-skinned filmmaker, and tonight I will be ranking the films in the DC Cinematic Universe. I want to start off by saying that I loved all the films, but I want to go over which ones entertained me more than the other. So let's get started. Number 9 on my list is Justice League, aka Justice League. Now, over the years, I've learned to blame Joss Whedon less for his role in what happened to Justice League, because I feel like he was given a tough job. For one, he was brought in after a film was basically completed. Warner Brothers wanted the film to be under 2 hours, and he was tasked with making the film have a lighter tone while keeping the footage that was already shot, and that was kind of difficult in my opinion. But some of the creative choices could have been better, like the infamous Flash falls onto Wonder Woman's boobies. What I liked about the film, I loved the Flash's slow motion scenes, such as the tunnel fight when Wonder Woman was fighting Steppenwolf and she dropped her sword. I loved seeing the Flash slow down time, and he touched a blade and it floated back to Wonder Woman, kind of a homage to the creation of Adam. Another cool scene that I saw was when Superman saw the Flash in the Speed Force. That was an awesome scene. I saw how it was shot in behind the scenes. I think they had to shoot both characters separately and then put it together in post. That was really cool. I also love the Flash's music in the film. I think Danny Elfman did a great job on that. I was kind of hoping that Hans Zimmer would be brought back with Junkie XL, because they worked on Batman vs. Superman's music, which was amazing. It was also always cool to see Aquaman cruising down to Atlantis, propelling himself through the water. This was the first time you really saw him in a movie before, other than Batman vs. Superman. So this was the first movie you saw Cyborg, the Flash, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Aquaman all together on the same screen, on the big screen. I know they had the cameo in Batman vs. Superman, but this was the first time they were united to fight a threat. And overall, what we got in the theater was very subpar. You can tell that a lot of it was manipulated if you pay attention. Like, for instance, the easy cue for when something was reshot was Superman's lip, or you would see characters on a green screen background, such as when Aquaman was talking to Bruce. So hopefully the Zack Snyder cut fixes a lot of the problems that we saw in that film. And it's very exciting that we're going to get a 4-hour Zack Snyder cut of Justice League. My number 8 pick is Aquaman. This film was pretty much the one I saw the least out of the new DC Cinematic Universe movies. I feel that James Wan did a great job with the action scenes in this film, especially the beginning shots of Queen Atlantea defending herself against the Atlanteans that were coming to take her back to Atlantis. It was just like, I love how seamless the camera work was. There were barely any cuts. It just felt like it was well put together. Another cool scene from that film was when Arthur and Mira dived into the trench and they saw all those crazy deep sea creatures that were vicious. I was just amazed at the colors they used, like the red flare as they dived into the blue water. It made for a beautiful shot. I love that part. Something else I liked about it was, unlike Justice League, where they had to use an oxygen bubble to communicate underwater. They were actually speaking underwater, which made more sense in my opinion. It was just really an impressive movie. Like, the budget was 160 mil. Like, that was the first film I saw that was shot to be mostly underwater. So, I mean, it was just a technical achievement. Things I didn't like about the movie was, it was kind of cheesy. You gotta love them. But, I mean, I still loved it. It wasn't a bad movie. Let's take a look at my number 7 pick, which is Wonder Woman 1984. I definitely feel that Patty Jenkins effectively utilized her 80s settings and applied all her 80s themes and aesthetics to the film, and it actually worked for them. Like the bad guy, Maxwell Lord, played by Pedro Pascal, definitely felt like an 80s villain, like something that would be from a Richard Donner movie. Sharply dressed corporate villain, just like Lex Luthor would be. Over exaggerated.
Life is good, but it can be better.
Even the plot of The Dreamstone felt like something that would come straight from the 80s. A truly lighthearted movie with some fun scenes like Steve Trevor trying on 80s outfits and Diana just judging him. And the action scenes were pretty cool to see. My favorite being the mall scene at the beginning. Just felt like a golden aged Wonder Woman film. Like when superheroes were much simpler. Like, you just catch the bad guy. I love the part where she held the robber up by one leg. It just was very cheesy, but it was cheesy in a good way. Another part that I loved about the film was towards the end of the film, during the final showdown, they had the call back to Batman vs. Superman when they played A Beautiful Lie. I felt like that scene was beautiful and I loved it. It was just a lot of cool stuff going on in that film. Maybe the film will grow on me as I watch it more times. Alright, so for my number 6 pick, I picked The Suicide Squad. Actually, Suicide Squad, because The Suicide Squad will be released this year. I love that movie. I've seen it so many times. What I loved about it, I loved the cast. Well, you had Will Smith, you had Margot Robbie, Karen Fukuhara, Jared Leto. All of them did a great job as their characters. I enjoy a lot of David Ayer's movies. One of my favorite movies is Training Day. He wrote that one. I trusted him with an ensemble cast because he shot Fury, which is a great movie. The best part of the movie, in my opinion, was Jared Leto's Joker. He felt like the Joker, a very comic book accurate Joker. He was like a gangster. He definitely felt unpredictable. He had a lot of great playful scenes. He had a lot of quotable lines in the film. My favorite scene from him in the movie was a deleted scene where Harley was chasing down the Joker and he looks out the side window. He's like, oh my goodness, this girl's chasing me still. What I did not like about the film, I guess the bad guy could have been a little more developed. That's just nitpicking basically. I felt the film was great anyway it went. My favorite scene from the film was definitely the acid bath. That mad love just felt like a great Harley and Joker scene. It was very beautifully dark and it was just a sexy scene in my opinion. And number 5 spot goes to Wonder Woman. It was just one of my favorite scenes from that film was the No Man's Land scene where she just climbed out of the trenches and had her shield in hand blocking bullets and just wrecked the place. It was just amazing. I loved Themyscira. It looked like it was paradise. Like, I would love to go there to just chill. It had a couple cheesy lines, but overall, that's just nitpicking. My number 4 DC film is Shazam. I have a lot of love for this film because it introduced me to one of my new favorite directors. David F. Sandberg. He has a YouTube channel and he gives a lot of great insight and tips about filmmaking, about how he makes his films, and he gives you tips on equipment and different shots that he used. I love that man. He's really pretty cool. Anyway, back to Shazam. I felt like the tone definitely fit the film. It was a good mixture of dark elements and silliness. The part where he tells the armed robber to shoot him in the face, that felt very silly and something like a child would do, which was pretty cool. The adoptive family was very entertaining. I think they did a great job with casting. I loved the character Darla. She was hilarious. Like when she found out that Billy was Shazam, that was a cool scene. She just had a lot of energy and I loved it. Only thing I did not like about the film was I felt that the kid, Billy Baxton, acted more mature than Shazam himself, which was kind of weird because I thought they were supposed to be the same character. So I felt like they should kind of act around the same. Or it could be that Billy felt more secure as Shazam to be himself. But I definitely loved that last scene, spoiler, where they all turned into the Shazam family. That was really cool. Now for the top three, the number 3 spot goes to Birds of Prey. The movie was just a lot of fun. I loved how stylized it was. Like the scene where Detective Renee Montoya was going through the crime scene after the Huntress attacked. I loved how it went from what happened the night that Huntress attacked versus her investigating it. Those transitions were very smooth. I love the part where after Harley Quinn blew up Ace Chemicals, now that she's not protected by the Joker anymore, everybody's out to get her, and you see everybody's grievances. I loved how every time she would see somebody, she'd be like, who's this person? And then it would cut to a part where she would wrong them in the past, and it would show why they were mad at her. That was cool. I love the jail sequence where she was fighting to get Cassie Kane out of jail. The stunt coordinator for those scenes were Chad Stahelski. He was the one that directed John Wick, and he also did work on The Matrix and Deadpool 2. No wonder Deadpool 2 was so good. Anyways, and it was just so colorful and vivid. It was just so much fun, that film. What didn't I like about it? I'm not gonna lie, I loved everything about it. I can't think of one thing I hated about it. Now for my number 2 spot, which is Man of Steel, directed by my favorite director, Zack Snyder. Let me tell you what I love about the film. Zod was an amazing character. He was driven. He had a purpose. Like, he was created to protect Krypton, and in order to protect Krypton, he has to do things that other people may seem as evil, but he's just really trying to make his race survive. So is he really a villain in my opinion? Not really. He had some quotable lines in there too, like,
where did you train? On a farm?
He was talking so much trash. I love the Krypton opening. I think Russell Crowe did a great job as Jor-El. It was just like, I've never seen Krypton like that. It would just seem like the perfect opening, like the battle and how the High Council didn't want to listen to Jor-El to the point where Zod kills Jor-El. And the CG was great. Like, I mean, you can expect that from a Zack Snyder movie. The fight scenes in the film were awesome. Definitely the ending fight between Zod and Superman. They were going at it. They destroyed Metropolis so much that they made the entire world whine about it. One thing I didn't like about it, it was kind of slow in some parts, but I mean, I can get over it. It wasn't that slow. I feel like that was a great film, and I really don't have anything bad to say about it. For the number one spot, which is Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice. I mean, I just loved everything about that film. Seeing Batman float out of the Batcave in the opening scene with a beautiful light plane, that was just a great scene. I love the opening scene of Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Thomas Wayne and Maggie Cohen as Martha Wayne. I've loved Jeffrey Dean Morgan ever since I've seen him play the comedian in The Watchmen. I love him as Negan. But yeah, I love that scene and how the slow intercuts between when he was a kid versus when the night that the murder of his parents happened. I love the scenes of Metropolis's destruction, and I loved how it showed Batman's point of view. I love all the music in the film, made by Hans Zimmer and Junkie XL. I listen to it all the time. That music is beautiful. I love Ben Affleck as Batman. In my opinion, he's the best Batman I've seen on screen. Like, so many great scenes, the warehouse fight, the Batmobile chase scene. I honestly cannot say anything bad about this film. I love Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. He was a great villain. I don't know why people hate him so much compared to, I can just quote lines from this movie from days from Lex Luthor. The only thing that I didn't like about it is that I was overhyped for the film. I watched all the trailers, I watched all the clips, I watched every single video before it came out, and when I got to the movie theater, I felt like I had watched the movie already. So most of the plot points were already given away, in my opinion. That's the only thing that I did not like about the film. Like, the marketing gave away everything. And I hate that they showed Doomsday in that second trailer. I don't know why they did that. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Share, like, subscribe. Thank you. See you next time.